In recent weeks, you might have noticed that Leeds United have been absolutely dominating the Championship. You might also notice that I'm in a very warm dressing gown. It's cold, let me off. But I think that something very, very clearly changed at Leeds United in the new year that has set us up for this sheer run of success. And I'm going to run through it in this video. I'm going to talk through the attacking changes, the defensive changes, adjustments in the overall structure of the club, and anything else that I think is massively important. But first of all, subscribe. That'd be massively appreciated. Anyway, diving into it. Attacking-wise, I think there's been a lot of transitions in attack that have massively changed the way that we've played football and have led to a lot nicer results. First up, you need to account for the fact that we've added Patrick Bamford to the mix. Patrick Bamford, who was missing for the first chunk of the season, and then when he did come on, it was off the bench in the odd bit part appearance, has forced his way into the starting 11. He would have started last night against Swansea if he was fit, but he was a little bit injured in the warm-up and we ended up playing Joel Piroe. But I don't think that made a change anyway. I will discuss why in a moment. But the introduction of Bamford meant we had a clear number 9 back in the team. And it wasn't just a number 9 in terms of positioning, it was a number 9 in terms of their pressing, in terms of the way that they attack the opponent and win the ball high up the pitch. And when we do that, when we win the ball high up, we very, very quickly transition into attack and finish our chances. A lot of what you saw last night in terms of Leeds United goals were transitional, because Swansea played a high line and that was stupid. Incredibly daft, because it let players that are incredibly quick, like Willy Gnonto, like Crescencio Summerville, like Jorginho Rutter, in behind to cause absolute chaos. We had the space to pass into and the legs to run into that space. And the amount of goals that we got from those opportunities were insane, and it could have been like 7-8-0 in the first half. We were unlucky that it was just 4, and that's how good the attack is at the moment. And another part of that is the fact that we've been able to reshape Jorginho Rutter's role. That also adds to the transitional way that we play football, because Rutter is now sitting significantly deeper. This has come from Bamford playing higher up the pitch, because now there's a space in behind where Piroe plays in that same sort of position as Jorginho Rutter. Now Bamford or Piroe in that higher up position, Rutter in behind, means that you've got someone in a little bit more space to find that pass, to dribble past the defender and cause a lot more problems for the opposing side. Having the ball deeper isn't always a problem, because it means there is room higher up the pitch to play with. And that includes Piroe being on the pitch, because Piroe coming onto the pitch now means that he is playing as that number 9. Although he doesn't seem as comfortable in that high press as Patrick Bamford was, he can still do it. And that massively contributes. And around them as well, it's not just the central players that are able to produce these things. There are more wingers coming into form as well. Our wide players previously throughout the season were Crescencio Summerville and Dan James playing well. That's transitioned hugely, because now we've got Willy Gnonto, who's played himself into a good run of form. He's able to score seemingly at will. He plays really well with Crescencio Summerville. That link-up play between the two is spectacular. And scoring 2 at Swansea last night, and I think he might have got an assist as well, I'm not too sure. But playing that well at Swansea last night was another clear sign that he is coming into his own. He's back at his best, and that is something that we need. In addition to that, the wide areas are also seeing the fullbacks playing a little bit better. Firpo, we know, is a very good attacking fullback, and he's been given the licence to do that by Daniel Farke. And sometimes you'll just see him up the wing or in the middle of the pitch in their final third, but it works because he's quite good at that, and we know we have the defensive structure to protect it. I'll get into that very soon. But the fact that we've got a little bit of confidence and a little run of form going means that we're doing quite well in terms of numbers as well. Our success in terms of take-ons has exceeded 40% in the last 8 games in a row. The last time we didn't have that was against Preston, where we got repeatedly bogged down and we couldn't beat them on Boxing Day. Even the game after that against West Brom, we showed a little bit of an improvement in our take-ons, but defensively we were a little bit naff in that one. But that means that we are finding the opportunity to create more chances, and it's not just creating more chances, it's finishing them as well. Recently we've hugely overperformed our XG. The Swansea game is a big part of that, but with Bamford fit and firing, Summerville on an incredibly confident run, Gnonto having found form, and Rutter not taking as many shots because he's a little bit deeper and we know that his finishing isn't the best, we're looking significantly better. But it's not just at the top of the pitch that things are improving, it's further back as well. Defensively, things are getting better too. We've seen a huge increase in versatility. Our starting back line right now, if you look through it and judge it by what we judged it by at the start of the season, at right back we've got Archie Gray, who we thought was a central midfielder, and at centre back we've got Ethan Ampadu, who we also thought was a central midfielder. And the thing is, they're not there because they're the only options, they are there because they are our best options right now, and we've got more certainty and depth. We can still play Cooper instead of Ampadu. We can still play Strauch instead of Ampadu. We've got Connor Roberts available at right back. Sam Byram is mostly available at right back. He just had a little bit of an issue last night. Jamie Shackleton can cover both of those roles. He only missed last night because he had a kid. Like, we've got a lot more depth there right now, and it's not players that are solely good at those positions. They're players that are highly flexible, highly versatile, and can do whatever they need to do. And that means that we are able to create situations where we've got great chemistry at centre-back. Ampadu and Rodon have played a lot of times together for Wales, and they're translating that into their Leeds United career now as well. It's perfect, I think. It all adds up, and it's all starting to come together in a way that all of the players enjoy playing with each other, and they perform well when they do so. And that's come together with the revival of Junior Firpo. Lots and lots of people going into the season were writing Junior Firpo off and saying that we need to sell him. And I was going into the season saying, well, you're judging him on Premier League performances. Surely he might be a little bit better in the Championship, and if he's not, we've got Byram. And that's proven to be the case. Firpo has hugely picked up in this division, and we're benefiting from it. Not only because of his attacking output, but defensively he's been really good as well. He's been incredibly solid. He's done as much defensively as Sam Byram, whilst providing a little bit more going forward. And I think he's going to be incredibly promising if he can keep this fitness up. It's only been a month or so, which means that it's too early to make a proper judgment. But if he's able to keep it going, if he can keep this run of form up, I think he'll be one of the best left backs in the division. And the results of this are very clear to see. We've had the best expected goals against in the league. We are 4 clear of Leicester on that, and we've conceded 1 goal in the league since New Year. When we've conceded more, which was the FA Cup matches against Plymouth, we had a completely rotated back line. We changed things. We had Shackleton at right back. We brought Sam Byram back in. And that changes the structure. People play with each other differently if there are new people in that lineup. And having conceded only 1 in the league since New Year shows that this is a very settled back line. It's one that we can be hugely confident in, and it's making me very happy. In addition to attack and defence, we've had a few more changes in the overall structure. One of the main ones is the introduction of Groif to the starting 11. I'm still not used to calling him Groif. I tend towards Groif, but I'll go with Groif for a while. And it means that ultimately we understand how to manage a game a lot more. Groif can come in and make tackle after tackle after tackle. We've seen compilations of his slide tackles, and he's only played like a dozen games for us at the moment. And a lot of them he's been a bit part in. And the fact that when he starts we look so much more solid is huge. He's a bit of a mix between Mateusz Klich in that he doesn't stop running and you barely notice him unless you're looking, and Calvin Phillips in that he's happy to just dominate a game. He'll dominate that midfield space and not give anyone the chance to break through, which means that the only goal we've conceded so far since the new year was a fairly scuffed one against Preston at home. It was a dodgy little set-piece thing. We don't concede much from open play, and that means that we've conceded 2 or fewer shots on target in every single match since Boxing Day when we played against Preston North End and we were down to 10 men in that one. That defence is solid, and when we're losing, it's because we've conceded more than we should. It's because of silly mistakes, but at the moment we are not making those mistakes, and there are some other things that have helped as well, that have boosted the confidence. There is far more confidence in the fan base, first of all, because Ipswich have managed to take it out of their own hands. They're currently 6 points behind us, 2 games in hand, and there is a vast gap in the goal difference between us and them. In addition to that, Southampton have started to stumble. They looked weak against Huddersfield, conceded 3 last night against Bristol City as well. That Southampton side defensively looks like it's falling apart a little bit, and fantastic for us because it means that we can be a lot more confident in what's happening in the squad. There's also clearly a fantastic chemistry to the squad at the moment as well. I was watching a video from Sky Sports where they were taking a look around various EFL clubs, and they'd popped into Leeds United to do a free kick challenge with Crescencio Summerville and Joel Piroux. And the first shot of that video is Summerville firing a free kick into the wall. And then the shot cuts to behind the camera with Pascal Strauch and Glenn Kamara just having a laugh. Laughing at the fact that Summerville has ploughed a free kick into the wall, and that shows there is a great level of chemistry in the squad, in that everyone is happy to have a conversation with each other, happy to have a joke and a laugh, and it means that it's not a side that is going to fall apart at the first sign of any problems. And I love that. I love that we can love this squad right now, and what does this all mean? It means that we are on the longest winning run of any side in the top 4 leagues in England, and we're on the second longest unbeaten run behind only Manchester City, who are on 8. We're a single game behind them. If they lose a match in the Premier League this weekend and we keep it going, we are the longest unbeaten side in England that are playing professional football. We also have the best expected goal difference in the league. The only reason that we're being beaten on goal difference by Leicester is because early in the season their finishing was astounding and their goalkeeper was having a Madden. And ultimately, I think, what does this all mean? We're going up as champions. Maybe. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think down below about the changes that the club has made and what it's going to mean towards the end of the season. As you can probably tell, I'm losing my voice, so I'm going to end it here. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you later.